Hi everybody, this is the comic book guy, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the comic book hut, and hopefully you like this video, and hit that subscribe button. We're getting very close to getting that 4,000 views on this channel, and we can't thank you enough. But here we have more X-Men content for you. People are not happy, they love the X-Men. We know we got a big movie coming out with Deadpool 3, and Wolverine is going to be very much a big part of it. I saw images. I think the original Sabretooth is going to be in it, Tyler Mane. So we got a lot of big stuff to talk about with the X-Men. If you want to know what's going on with the X-Men with this video, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. We're going to get into this now. This is X-Men with Marvel Comics. We've talked about the cartoon, but let's talk about what's going on at the publication. This is from Phantom Pulse. Headline: Marvel Comics editor Tom the Punk Brevort calls anti-woke fans cretins while confirming X-Men reboot will push agenda. Now, he's been saying this for months. When it came out, they were going to do a reboot, a millionth reboot for the X-Men, that they said it was going to be agenda-driven. And of course, this is written by John Delaroche. You need to follow this site. It's a great new site. It hasn't been up too long, but 3 or 4 months. It's excellent. It's excellent. So let's get into this article. The X-Men franchise has been embattled over the last several years with poor storylines and a complete mess in the Krakoa era, ever since Jonathan Hickman left the titles to far less talented writers. Marvel Comics planned a reboot a few months ago under the stewardship of the Punk editor Tom Brevort. Now, your host has called him the Punk for many years because he treats the fans online like POSs. He's not the most pleasant human being to deal with online. And we won't get into that stuff. Who has already caused problems by disrespecting longtime fans and blockerias he politically disagrees with on X. Now on his newsletter, Marvel Comics editor has doubled down to gaslight fans and confirmed the new reboot will be filled with identity politics. Warning signs have been clear for X-Men's forthcoming reboot. The Punk teased changes with an image labeled From the Ashes before arguing with fans about what would come, telling them it would be a political book, saying the message is the premise. Hasn't that been that way? I mean, doesn't this guy look like a punk? You know, with the hat. What's up with the hat? What's up with this? This is like a Pluto, this is like a wimpy hat. Popeye. What's up with the wimpy hat? I didn't realize that 1930s, 1940s cartoons and what the characters wore in the cartoons is a thing again. Whatever. And this is his look. This has been his look for the last 20 years, folks. You imagine working with a guy that walks in with this kind of hat on all the time? It's not even a baseball hat, for God's sake. And this comment rubbed fans the wrong way, who've been upset in general with Marvel and DC Comics, go more woke over the last several years, seemingly to make everything about the LGBTQ agenda after a decade pushing almost all of their characters into interracial relationships, the virtual signal on the skin color level. However, it was followed up by some preview images confirming the book would push a feminist, Marxist, Satanist agenda by putting Rogue and Kitty Pryde in command of the X-Men teams, which I've discussed here on this channel. This is accompanied by the fact that Gail Simone, oh boy, is rumored to be writing one of the main titles, since she is doing a free comic book day story for the X-Men. Now, Tom the Punk Brevort has doubled down on the concepts of identity politics, confirming in his newsletter that this X-Men run will only be worse for Marvel Comics than the current Krakoa iteration. Quote, first off, I think the ill-defined accusation of being woke is nonsense, the Punk wrote. And I tend to turn off and tune out whenever it comes up in almost any context. The people who are using it and who brandish it like a sword to attack whatever they don't like tend to be mostly, cretins. You said that this is going to be political, this book. So you basically just calling people names for the hell of it. As is par for the course with comic industry pros, Tom Brevort calls those who disagree with his insertion of leftist ideology into comics names rather than listen to their points as fans and try to create a story that will appeal to everyone. What's left is the woke agenda, which he also makes it clear he intends to put it into the books despite claiming it's nonsense. Well, that's weird. He said he's going to put it in it, and then he calls people cretins for saying he's going to put it in it. Quote, they aren't making a good faith argument. That's a trope of the liberal. They say that. Good faith. You don't know what's inside a person's head or it's inside their heart, punk. The punk continued. They've just come up with an all-purpose term, an infinitely adaptable scarlet letter that they can hang on anything they don't like for any reason. That all laid out. I'll tell you what I said previously on social media when a version of this question came up. For X-Men, the message is the concept. Okay? You're basically saying that is true. Am I missing something here? I don't think anybody's misconstruing what he has to say. No one's misconstruing it. Messaging will be heavy in the forthcoming X-Men, and they aren't trying to hide it or claim they're putting a good story first. No, they never do. It's all propaganda. The whole concept revolves around the oppressed, which in the minds of the woke always means dark skin or LGBTQ activism. Unfortunately, quite the opposite is true in America these days, as anyone who disagrees with the woke agenda gets lambasted and called names by people in positions of authority in these industries, such as the punk has done here by calling his political opponents cretins. Instead of realizing that modern conservatives are much more in line with an outside group like the X-Men, he's going to double down on the message, which is always code for leftist politics. It would be fun to see just once a Marvel Comics editor taking a different tact, putting their money where their mouths are for diversity. This will require hiring someone to write who holds different opinions than the lockstep left-wing echo chamber of the Marvel Comics X-Men offices. It's all their offices. However, with him dehumanizing those who disagree with him, the punk seems to have more in common with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants of his ideology than the classic X-Men. That is all true. And he knows it too. I will say this. He's not a snappy dress. I'm sorry. It's time for a new look, sir. And or madam, or whatever the fuck you are. It's time for a new look. It's time to get rid of the wimpy from Popeye hat. You look ridiculous. Okay. Get a baseball cap. A fedora would help. It would be, well, no. You want to find something that now I got a round face myself. So I shouldn't talk. But I don't wear a hat that makes my face look rounder. Right? I got a pumpkin face. His face is very pumpkin-like. You can't be wearing a rounded hat. You got to wear a baseball cap. It'll make your face look thinner and straighter and less like a pumpkin. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, please subscribe to Comic Book Cut. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.